Good afternoon, super friends, and welcome to the Tuesday, May 26th edition of the Sacred News and Weather. It is cold and windy outside today, though sunny and beautiful, and this message is being duly blessed by the Sisters of Perpetual Tree Work as well as the Sisters of Perpetual Home Remodeling. So I'm hoping you can't hear it, but I can't escape it from my brain. Maybe it's the coffee that I'm drinking. Drinking a really yummy golden milk latte with a little bit of honey in it. In my fancy mug from my client Jen just sent me this beautiful mug. She makes beautiful things and she shares them with my family now and again. So thank you, Jen. I think I have a message for us. And I think it's going to involve a little bit of Kabbalah and a little bit of Tree of Life. So before I get too deep into it, let me just give you my preamble, which is, as with everything I do, take what resonates, leave the rest behind, and please know that these messages are timeless. So whether you are receiving them in real time or tuning in at a later date, if you are not seeing yourself, go ahead and turn yourself off. But if you are, stick around. All right, I think I botched that somehow, but I don't really care. I may also do this before I get too deeply into my eyes closed. Let's see. I think you should be able to see. This is Jacob's ladder here. I'm not going to talk much about Jacob's ladder right now. But what I heard in meditation is he's on the vegetable wheel. So that's why I'm bringing up the tree of life, because I want to show you what the vegetable wheel is before I start channeling. The vegetable wheel is this lower portion of the tree of life, and it's kind of like a cul-de-sac of stuck energy. I think they call it the vegetable wheel because it's like it's pre-consciousness. It's below the threshold of consciousness. This right here is the threshold of consciousness. This is the root. Malchut is the root. Yesod, that's your root chakra, your sacral chakra. This is the sacrament of baptism, if that's the language you speak, or it represents the energy of being accepted into your family, being accepted into your tribe. This is tribal energy. It's root energy. Here at Yesod, we get to the sacral chakra, and this is very much the ego, the wounded ego and the healthy ego. But this is all the pre-consciousness energy that I'm talking about. It's your sacral chakra, it's abundance, it's sexuality, it is money, it is creativity, it is fertility, but it's also the wounded child and also the healed good mother, the healed parent. This is just a very brief overview. By the way, just in case I start throwing things out there, I want you to know what you're looking at or what I'm talking about. Next, we come to Hod, which in this particular tree, which on Jacob's ladder, we would be looking over here. This is the realm of the psyche. So we're looking at the realm of the psyche here. And in the realm of psyche, we're still looking at, like, this is the physical needs. The vegetable wheel is like the very physical needs. So here in this, at this level, Hod represents communication. And when I say the vegetable wheel, when I say his energy is attached to the vegetable wheel, and by the way, I heard it could be she, energies are divine masculine, divine feminine. We're not talking about gender here. I'm talking about divine masculine. His energy is in the vegetable wheel. He is stuck in the vegetable wheel. His communication is tied to the ego, likely the wounded ego, though I'm not channeling yet. It could be tied to the healthy ego, but without the heart, without being attuned to the heart, we lose a lot. When we're attached to our wounds, when we're attached to our unhealthy ego, our communication becomes a little stilted. It becomes maybe sometimes non-communication. It gets very confusing and very messed up. Netzach here is impulses. It is also here on the vegetable wheel related to egoic impulses. So not heart attuned impulses, but those egoic impulses. So when I'm saying I heard he's on the vegetable wheel, I'm talking about this cul-de-sac here. When we get to the animal wheel, which includes going above this threshold of consciousness, it means that we're attuning to the heart. And so where I feel like we're going today is someone has been stuck in ego down here in the vegetable wheel, and we want him, them, her to attune to the heart. And I just taught about this last week I was going to say threshold, but not in threshold, in the red thread. We were talking about John the Baptist and how he was saying, make straight the path or make straight the way to God. And this is what we're talking about. We are talking about making straight this pathway right here to your own divinity inside of yourself. So not like atone for your shame and blame and guilt and la 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 blah blah blah. I don't talk about any of that in the work that I do. I'm talking about making straight the path to the heart, to Tiferet. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to my own little mug here, my literal mug and my figurative mug. I'm going to come back to my mug and I am going to start channeling. But when I'm saying he's stuck in the vegetable wheel, this is what I'm talking about. Let's stop sharing and come back to me. Hi, I'm going to take a sip of my magic coffee because I have a feeling it's going to be cold by the time I'm done. And since birthing two children, I have a thing about I'm only going to drink hot coffee. I let coffee cups sit cold, go cold so many times. I'm going to enjoy my coffee here. Cheers, that's really yummy. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes and I'm going to just come back into that place where I heard he's stuck on the vegetable wheel. He's stuck on the vegetable wheel. He's stuck on the vegetable wheel. And what I'm seeing is I'm seeing like the thinker is thinking, like the overthinker is overthinking. I'm seeing the Nine of Swords, which is that like up all night chattering in the brain. I'm seeing the Eight of Swords, fear, 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 and being stuck in the vegetable wheel. But what I'm hearing is that we are very close to an ego death. We are very close to making straight the path. We're very close to understanding that where we need to attune to is not the vegetable wheel, which is the chitter chatter in the mind, the excessive chitter chatter. I can see like that well-worn groove, that well-worn path. It's almost as if this energy, and I'm calling it him, I'm calling it divine masculine. You put yourself where you see it. This might be you, this might be someone you know. He is stuck on the vegetable wheel. It's a well-worn groove, and he is about to come up into his heart. He's about to enter the realm of the animal. He's going to move through and above the threshold of consciousness. And I'm just going to be quiet and see if I can find what it is that helps him to get to the threshold of consciousness. And I'm hearing intuition, which tracks. Intuition would be attuning to your heart, attuning to that still point. And what I'm hearing is that there was a tuning out of the chitter chatter around and a tuning inward. I'm also hearing that this person might have one very particular person. I just heard I just heard the Joni Mitchell lyrics. Go to him, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed. That is A Case of You, Joni Mitchell. Beautiful song. But I heard it in not in about the masculine. I heard it like go to her, stay with her if you can, but be prepared to bleed. Do with the genders what you will. I don't think I'm going to try and say it again because I've repeated myself enough. So it feels like there is one person who's saying go, go, while all of the chitter chatter, I don't know if it's voices inside this person's head or if it's voices outside of this person that this person has been attuned to, but this person is now attuning to their heart. They're getting quiet enough, they're quieting the chitter chatter enough to get into their heart space. And in their heart space, I'm trying to discern, are they hearing this go to her in their heart space? And the feeling is yes. The feeling is yes. I'm seeing the image of the Two of Cups. Yes, go to them in their heart space. Go to her in your heart space. But also feels like there's one person. I keep seeing like someone holding up a finger, like there's one person who has been saying all along, go, go to her, go to him, go to her, go to him. It still feels like I'm missing some sort of precipitous event that has allowed this person to shift up into their heart space. And I think it's more than just this person here. I'm going to leave this because there's another energy over here. There's a feminine energy over here, and the energy over here, and I'm seeing two different tarot cards over here. I'm seeing the Queen of Swords and I'm seeing the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. And my feeling is there's a person over here, there's a feminine over here who is attuned intuitively to the masculine. So there's a feminine who's attuned to the masculine, and it feels like she's questioning herself. It feels like she's questioning herself. She's wondering actually if she's attuning into a masculine who is thinking about her, or if she's attuning into a masculine who is thinking about a Queen of Wands, someone who is not her. The Queen of Wands in tarot, the Queen of Wands is a fiery, passionate, creative. She's the most passionate and most in some ways like fertile in terms of ideas. She's also very sexual. She's very she can also be the other woman. She can represent the other woman. And so this divine feminine energy over here is wondering, she's attuning into this masculine. She's attuning into this masculine, and she's wondering, she can feel the masculine thinking about her. They are attuned. These two are a soul bond. It doesn't mean that they need to be romantically related, but I feel like we are talking about a romantic situation here. I'd be lying if I told you that it wasn't. It feels like this is a soul bond, and I have shared here before that soul bonds don't necessarily mean that the two of you are destined to be together. So I want you to hear that when I say that again. Some channelers, some readers will say, oh, if it's a soul bond, you're meant to be together for life. That is not necessarily true. We call in people from our soul tribe, from our ancestral lines. We call in and tend to connect with people from our soul tribe. And that is why the connections are so strong. And also, I've spoken here too, and I'm going to bring it forward as well, that as we are participating in the rise of the divine feminine, both our masculines and our feminines are going to be learning and recognizing that they are attuning spiritually. They are spiritually connected to those in their soul tribe. And sometimes we mistake those bonds for twin flames, which I don't talk much about because I don't necessarily believe that we share one soul with another person. I believe that we all come in with individual souls, and we just sometimes get into these relationships where we have things, I want to say shit, we have shit to work out with these people in order to heal ourselves. So not necessarily to come together with this person, but to mirror one another in such a way that we heal parts of ourselves. So I think that's enough of a spiel here. I'm going to go back to this woman over here. The divine feminine over here is trying to determine whether or not she is attuning to this masculine who is attuning to her. What she's trying to decide is this masculine feeling these feelings that she thinks she's tuning into for another woman, or is he in fact attuning to her? I'm seeing Queen of Swords and I'm seeing Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is from it's a really uh fun and interesting deck from Peekskill, New York, from Ehrenberg. It's the Ehrenberg Tarot, and she's got a black cat. That's why I'm seeing her. Blonde woman with a black cat. And I'm seeing her very clearly. What I'm feeling is, okay, there's still a pin over here. I'm gonna come all the way over here. There is a storyline, multiple storylines from past wounding in this lifetime, from past wounding in ancestral times, perhaps from past wounding between these two energies, but I don't think so, but maybe. There's past wounding where this energy, the divine feminine energy, was attuning into a lover who she wanted to be with, a soul bond who she thought she was with, a soul bond who she wanted to be with, who was actually tuned in to another entity, another woman, another Queen of Wands. I think that's what's coming through here. This is fear. This is fear over here that a pattern is repeating itself. And what I'm seeing over here is this is not true. This is not a pattern repeating itself. This is past wounding affecting current intuition. In this past wounding, this divine feminine felt her divine masculine being with, attuning to another woman, and mistook it for attunement to herself. This is why I talk about the danger, not danger, not like fear for your life kind of danger, but the the trouble, maybe I'll use that word, the trouble with spiritual unions where you are not in communication, and the wounding, the vegetable wheel. So here's, okay, this is what's happening. The vegetable wheel over here, this is where this entity is attuned to her vegetable wheel. She's attuned to her egoic wounded child by believing she might be, by worrying, by spending time on worrying that the masculine that she is attuned to over here is attuning to someone else, and that she is actually, she is mistaken. This divine feminine is worried that she's mistaken. What I want to say, if you are recognizing yourself here, is you are not mistaken. You are not mistaken. Even if this masculine is attuning to another woman, what you are feeling right now is from past wounding. It's from the vegetable wheel. I'm seeing it so clearly that it's from the vegetable wheel here, that you are attuning to past wounding. There may be, I'm not saying that there isn't a woman over here that your masculine is interested in or has been seeing or was seeing. I'm not tuned into that frequency. What I'm tuned into is that what you are feeling now, feminine, is that your masculine is actually very much attuned to you spiritually. Okay, I'm going to come back over here. Actually, I'm going to see if I can come in the in-between space and see what's happening. What's happening is the hangman. I was like, nothing is happening. Well, that is true. Nothing is happening. But I want to be clear that something is happening, because these two entities, these two energies are in fact getting ever closer, if not already there, to attuning fully to Tiferet, to attuning fully to their heart. The path is being made straight to their hearts so that they are listening from their heart space. What I'm seeing here in the center is the hanged man. And it is a pause. It is a pause, but it's not a pause where nothing is happening. If you can imagine, the hanged man is a man hanging upside down. It depends upon the deck that you are using, but he's hanging by his foot. And what he's doing is gaining a new perspective. If you can imagine that as he inverts himself, as he turns himself upside down, and again, genders don't matter, as you turn yourself upside down, anything that isn't for you will fall out of your pockets. If you can imagine, your pockets have been shoved, stuffed full with wounds and change. And like, I think of my kids handing me their dirty tissues and like their wrappers and things. Like if you can imagine that your pockets have been stuffed with other people's shit and with your own crap that you don't need. And by going upside down, you are letting go of all of the things that you don't need any longer. You're shedding what you don't need, and you're gaining new perspective. And what I feel like is coming in is the awareness of this vegetable wheel, the awareness of, I have been attuned to my unconscious wounding. I've been attuned to my unconscious wounding. And what we're being invited to do is to make straight the path to tune into our heart centers. And by tuning into our heart centers, we will know the truth. This energy will know that her divine masculine is very much attuned to him. This divine masculine will know she is very attuned to me. Whether or not they come together, I don't know. I tell you over and over again, I'm not in the business of making predictions. I do very much see a pathway where that is possible, but I also see one where I see where one is going this way and the other is going up, and they are not converging. So it can go either way, but what you're being invited to do is let go of the outcome. There's the Fool card, okay? Here's what I see. I can see these two want a new beginning. These two want a new beginning. They want a new beginning together, but they need to let go of the outcome. Part of what this upside down hangman is that they need to let go of the outcome. They need to release the old things. They need to attune to their hearts, and then I can see them coming together. I see the Two of Cups. I see the Ten of Cups. I see where it is very much possible. I think that concludes my message for today. It also concluded all of the noise out there. It kind of went away at some point. My brain feels so much better. I'm going to finish my coffee. I am going to be joining the Q&A for the threshold later this afternoon, 5 o'clock. for a live Q&A via Zoom, and I'm looking forward to that. I have more coming for you. I'm glad you're here. Please like, share, subscribe, tell me what you're drinking, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.